What's up guys, in today's video we're going to talk about and compare the difference between a TV and a projector and which suits you better for your home entertainment. For those of you that's your first time on the channel, welcome, and if you want to jump on board for future content about home theaters, general tech and gaming, then click on that subscribe button. And I've added a mini little feature today in my video, and that is I'll be doing a shout out for 2 YouTube channel creators every week to help their channel grow no matter what content it is. So if you guys want that shout out, comment in the section below and I'll be randomly picking the 2 and announce them every week, so stay tuned. Now I'm a projector guy. I've had a projector for about 3 years and I haven't looked back. There is definitely something addictive about a 125-inch screen for movies and gaming. Last couple of years I've seen big changes in both prices and technology. So if you're thinking about upgrading to a real large screen, before you go ahead and buy a projector or a big screen TV, let's compare a few things. Now, trying to decide between a projector and a TV can be a decision you think about for months. For most people, the TV are the standard choice when it comes down to watching their favorite movies or gaming. Why? When good projectors are also affordable and accessible, giving the TVs a run for their money. But which is better for your living room or dedicated home theater room? Let's compare some features of the 2 to find the best choice for your entertainment. Before we start comparing, we all know having a TV is a lot more convenient. Simply taking it out of the box, either mount it on a wall or on its original stand and follow a very simple setup process and off you go. As for a projector, you'll need to also purchase additional screen and run HDMI cables and wiring and possibly a proper setup required. If you'd like to learn more about pre-built stage and simple guides before building a dedicated home theater, I'll put the link above the screen. Now we're going to start off with the screen size. Hands down, the projector has the upper hand. Although the TVs nowadays are closing in the gap and some exceed 100 inches plus. While we're expecting the numbers to continue to rise, there has to be a limit to how big TVs can go. You could imagine delivery of one and mounting 100-inch plus on a wall, not to mention the cost factor. In my books, under the screen size category, the projector will always win, not to mention the projector can zoom in and out to change the image size on the screen. Projectors are much more cost effective. You can get a HD projector and 120-inch screen under $2,000. Whereas an 80-inch TV is going to cost you at least $3,500, if not more. While screen size is the starting point of most shoppers, other features like OLED technology on TVs and laser technology on projectors can quickly increase the cost. Of course, you need to also make your decision according to your room size and viewing distance and lighting, which we'll talk about in a minute. One thing to also consider is that projectors don't have built-in streaming services like TVs do, so you'll need something like Nvidia Shield or Roku to run these features. Speaking of features, modern TVs nowadays are eliminating 3D movie support, as most projectors still support them, and I'm hoping they don't get rid of it. I do use my room daily basis watching shows, movies and play some games, as for some people prefer using their dedicated home theater rooms for specific films and purpose, which I really don't see the point. Let's compare the maintenance of the 2. Modern TVs are maintenance free. The LEDs that power them have such a long lifespan that you're more likely to replace the entire TV before having to worry about the backlights. You simply turn the power on and off you go. And as the projectors, they tend to use lamps that eventually burn out but still have a decent lifespan and can be costly. It does involve maintenance such as making sure no dust getting inside the projector, which some projectors have covers for. You also may need to clean the projector window and obstacle sensor periodically and clean the air filter and vents to prevent the projector from overheating due to blocked ventilation. And for some people, maintenance as such can be a deal breaker, but if you want to put in the hard work, you can easily find new bulbs online with fraction of the price. So TV wins if you want no maintenance. Now let's talk resolution. 4K is the standard these days, and both large screen TVs and projectors handle it beautifully. But there's more to it. With 4K, it can be hard to notice the difference it makes unless you watch it on a huge screen. It's very hard to distinguish when that many pixels are crammed into regular TV. This is where HD projectors really shine, since the screen is large enough to show the enormous amount of detail that comes with 4K. With the TVs closing in the gap of the screen size, it still does not make sense to not choose a projector over a TV to enjoy all 4K has to offer. In saying that, brightness matters. The dimmer the screen is, the darker room needs to be for a clear picture. Most projectors require a darker room to show its full true form, such as this room. When I built this room, I had no choice to have a window due to regulations, and you might not notice, but on my right back corner, behind that back panel, there is a window which I've covered permanently for a pitch dark room, even during the day. Projectors just don't put out enough light to compete in a sunny living room, unless we're talking about unaffordable, overpriced projectors that have the potential to do so. TVs, on the other hand, put out enormous amount of brightness, especially with more modern technologies such as the OLED and the QLED. In saying that, being brighter does not necessarily mean better. If you're watching in a darker room, such as a dedicated home theater room, the lower the light of the projector might actually be better on the eyes. But for general use in a living room, the multifunctionality of a TV is tough to beat. One thing that has changed this dynamic is the ultra short throw projector. It allows you to have the projector sitting on your TV cabinet in front of the room and very easy to set up, and doesn't require professional setup. There are much brighter projectors that work really well in a living room compared to your standard projectors. Projectors take up very little space. What requires space is having enough distance from the screen to make viewing comfortable. If you don't do the measurements correctly and cram a big screen into a small space with a very short viewing distance, it's very uncomfortable and will be hard to take in the details of the content. Projectors are also known as having a big screen, and most of average homes don't have that kind of space. So functionality is a thumbs down, and I'm gonna say TV wins for this space category. Wait, am I using this right? Nah, I don't know, you guys know, I'm sure you get it. Projectors such as the Epson UB4050 produces a very high contrast ratio of 1,000,000 to 1 ratio. But the issue is the contrast is another function of brightness, which I mentioned above. Unless you're in a dark space, a projector is hopeless. If you're watching a movie or playing games anywhere but a dark room, TV is the way to go due to its infinite contrast ratio because of how the contrast technology works. Every TV comes with a built-in speakers, and some projectors do too, but most of them are pretty average. And if you're looking for a good movie experience, it's definitely a good idea to invest in some proper surround sound speakers. Even though modern TV come with a Dolby Atmos and such, it's nowhere near the same experience that you'll be getting from a proper system. If you're purchasing a projector, that's half the story. You also need a display screen to capture the video. When shopping for a screen, you also need to look for material and size and try to go for proper brands such as this one that I use in this room, which is the Alot screen. Do your homework and make sure you have the patience and wait for sales, as some screens can be expensive, which adds more cost. You also need to decide on what screen style suits the room. It makes a big difference when you're watching a movie on a 16:9 or a 2.35 frame. For me, I like the Cinemascope widescreen viewing, and if I want with this Epson projector, I can switch from 16.9 to 2.35 with a click of a button. I think we've pretty much covered all bases. If I missed something, let me know your thoughts on what you guys prefer and have in your home. I'll list some of my favorite budget projectors and TVs in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe. It'll help me a lot trying to hit that next milestone of 1,000 subscribers. Catch you guys in the next episode of H Studio 3.0. See you guys.